Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're here for some Silverstone Jackocar round 5 I believe it is. As you can see, this rain was wet all the way through. Intermediate conditions seen qualifying. We had a dry qualifying, a dull qualifying, but yeah, when I came out the sun had just started to peak. I was last out on track with this being a one-shot qualifying spread over an 18-minute session, so everyone gets out on their own and they have, you know, a bit of screen time each. Jamie set, I think it was a 25.4. Now, with the dry setup that I would have used if this race was obviously dry, I could do an easy 24.6, I think, in the practice session. So that was sort of my aim. I didn't think after Jamie, who is a really quick driver, after he didn't set a very good lap, I was definitely not confident for that, but I was still looking for that low 25 just to make sure that I was up towards the top of the grid, just to see, you know, I don't get caught up with anything at the start, don't get stuck in spray, just to see what we can do from there really. So we come through the sector 1. It did say that we go purple, but I'm not sure whether that was real or not. I know the doubters in this game are very broken so far. Jeff just set into those 30 seconds left in the session for no reason apart from he fancies it. As we come through up to cops now, easy flat with the dry setup. I wasn't too sure with this one, but yeah, it had more wing on it, so I thought I'll just send it through, see what happens. And of course, if you invalidate with this system, that's it, you don't get another lap, you start at the back, as there was, I think, 5 in this. As you can see now, we're going up to the DRS, and we have a little bit of a moment with the DRS, it just wouldn't open, and that costs us a lot of time, I personally think. You know, that was a long time to not have the DRS open, and on a straight like that, ultimately, if it would have been at the end of the straight, it probably wouldn't have harmed us that much, but it was at the start, and you know, we lost a lot of momentum from that as we come through the final chicane, and you can tell that really does affect our lap, and I was quite frustrated with that as we end up P5. I've had a few poles in this this league as well. As you see, 2 attempts off, the gap between first and third, just incredible really. I would have loved to have just been within that, and I feel like without that DRS problem that we had, we would have definitely been there. And yeah, we now go on to the race strategy. Obviously, with this league being the NASCAR hybrid that it is, you get a joker, and we were on it for this race, whereas a lot of people around us aren't. So we're going to have 1 stop less than everyone else as we go to the start of the race. We had a really good start actually, pulled from P2, he was really close to the first, just didn't get away at the start, which left Pete vulnerable. He actually hit the wall and seemed sweeping across that front wing damage in the mirror there. As we now get past Ilati Splinter, currently second in the championship as well. We are fighting close with him. It's definitely important to stay ahead of him, but we managed to go from P5 to P2. Jamie going from, right, he couldn't gain any positions after that start. He just managed to just pull away, let all the chaos ensue behind him, and he's managed to pull out a nice 1.5 second lead at this point. But you know, I was just thinking, look, he's gonna have to pit once more than me. Obviously, you know, it's a wet race, so chances are we're gonna have a few safety cars, but I haven't seen many the last few races, so I was confident, you know, if we can just get one in the right place, we should be quite good here, and we're gonna have about a 30-second advantage. So I really didn't want to battle him too hard and, you know, come off worse with wing damage, or even worse, not having 4 wheels on my car. So yeah, I was just allowing him to just pull away at this point, not really challenging too much to see he sets the fastest lap. And then we had Iceman, who was filling in for something risky, so it was speed for speed on that one. The guy who was originally meant to reserve decided to buy the game an hour before the race. So yeah, we had Iceman instead, really quick driver behind. He's about 5 seconds on the lap, on lap 10 already. We had literally nothing happen in this opening stage because we just managed to get ahead. And you know, when you're in the spray and the wet race like this, it's really hard to see where you're going. Gap now 4.4 seconds. This was about where I wanted it, you know, not too far ahead, and this is where the safety car comes out. Now, a lot of people at this point have already made their first pit stop, purely because if you do it this late, you're not really going to gain anything from it. But Jamie was saying in the party he wanted to cover off for the safety car, so he actually went long, which is where, you know, ultimately I was going to pit between now and lap 13 in normal racing conditions, so that I have half on one set and half on the other. Anyone on a 2-start normally would be doing a third and a third and a third, but Jamie went long, and it's actually paid off for him because now he can come into the pits and he's not lost anything. You know, he's come back out in the lead, he's not come out in traffic, but he's still got to make that other stop. So that 4.5 second lead that he had on us has now gone, and then on top of roughly a 30-second lead that we have. So it's looking quite good. Again, I was just thinking I don't want to sit too close behind him when we come to the safety car restart, purely because I've got no reason to. You know, you don't get DRS in the wet, so I can just sit back, allow him to just do his own race, and end up overtaking him when he comes into the pits. So we now go to the safety car restart, and yeah, it wasn't the best restart. I was still looking at warming up my tyres, so they're very cold, and he's already pulled away a little bit. Watching back, I should have definitely been closer to him. Coming through Stowe, he's just gone, and I was not expecting it. I was expecting it through the chicane, but yeah, he disappeared up the road already. Really good restart from him. Iceman as well behind. Like I said, should have definitely been picked in the draft. Originally I wasn't, but because of Beesman dropping out last minute, I managed to get a seat. Yeah, he should have definitely been picked somewhere in some team, because he is a very quick driver on his day. Same with Jamie, same with a lot of the drivers really. As you can see in P4, Jordan, who is also on this Joker strategy, we had 4 cars on the Joker strategy. I can't remember who they are. I know we had myself, Jordan, Dexter, and one other. I can't remember who it was now off the top of my head. So yeah, my aim was to allow the other Jokers now to filter through to the top 4. Like, the ultimate dream was to have them top 4, so then people like Jamie and Iceman have to then battle through them. But obviously, because you get quite a big field spread in the wet, that didn't really happen. But I still had Jordan behind, you know, he was keeping with us. So then ultimately, when Jamie does pit, he's going to have to get past him. It's going to buy me just that little bit more time in case he does. You know, as you can see, he is very quick in these conditions, as we get a virtual safety car. Yeah, so I was just hoping at this point, if Jamie does manage to catch up, he's going to have to get through Jordan. But as you can see now, Jamie has pulled a massive gap on us. It's going to be roughly like 15 seconds, I'd say, average, when it comes back to pits. And the virtual safety car ending now, and this was the race changes. See, we're just keeping that data positive, but a few people didn't. One of them being Jamie, one being Whiter, I think the other one Dance Car. And when you do that, it's very sensitive. You know, you just go over, you go through a corner too quickly, and that's it. Drive through, bang, done. There's nothing you can do. You can't have it taken off because you've got to take it in the race, or it will disqualify you. So yeah, that's now essentially giving us the lead even easier, because Jamie's going to have to do what, a 20-second drive through, 25-second drive through on top of his pit stop. So he's actually pitted now for his drive through. So we now take the lead for like the first time in this race, which was crazy. You know, this was the one that I really wanted for home GP, Silverstone, whatever. So yeah, I was kind of annoyed that I wanted the stage points as well, but it just didn't happen. I think the stage points were like lap 6 and lap 13. So ultimately Jamie got them. He also got the pole position and fastest lap. I just took, well, you'll see, the final playoff points for what I eventually done. But Jamie at the minute, P5, he's only taken his drive through, so he's got to go back into the pits now again for that second mandatory stop that you have to make when you're not on the Joker. So now it's a Joker 1-2, and if you don't watch Jackocar, the Joker has had some mega curse ever since the start. No one has ever won on the Joker, never mind having a Joker 1-2. So I think realistically for me and Jordan now, we're just sort of thinking, let's get this to the end, because you know, I wouldn't say it's a big thing, but it's, you know, something that you'd want to get the first ever Joker win after it's had this massive, ever since the start, 2 seasons, no one's ever won on it, because either the safety cars come out, or you know, you get damaged, whatever, your tyres fall off. But the pit lane's just so long here, and ultimately if there wasn't the second safety car, you know, the first one helped me out so much. Second safety car would have ruined it, because Jamie was caught back up even with that drive through. You see now he's not even in the top 5, and all the way down to P5 OKK, who had a really good race from the back of the grid, spinning, and still managed to come top 5. I think he had a few penalties, but we now come over the line. Final time, again, not really the most exciting race on track, but I was still mega happy with that. First ever Joker victory. So that's the 5 playoff points for the victory and 5 for winning the Joker strat. Jordan behind also had a time penalty. So yeah, that was second win in a row. Technically third, because I'd missed a round, and ever since then I've had Baku, Vietnam, and this one in a row. So I was really happy with them. And yeah, that was a solid result. As I said, you know, Silverstone and the Joker victory. I was really happy with that. Unfortunate for Jamie and a few others with those drive-throughs, but yeah, that was a short and sweet video in the end, along with one of two drivers to not get any time penalties, which is pretty difficult in the in some circumstances. I think I only got the one warning as well. But yeah, if you did enjoy this video, make sure you give it a like, click that red button. I'm still not really too sure what it does, but apparently it helps. And yeah, we'll be back at some point for hopefully DBF1 highlights to come out early next week. So yeah, thank you for watching and goodbye.